Does having fine hair wear a tiara difficult? How does it sit? Because I don't have worn one before. Like, my hair is so fine, I'm concerned it will just slip out, fall out.
Yeah, I mean, it can, obviously it depends on the exact type of hair you have. Finer hair can tend to be a bit more slippy and drop out a little bit more, so it basically means you just have to have, you know, extra to be secured in a little bit tighter, I would say.
I think as well, because you get so many different tiaras. You've got the ones that come from like an Alice band, or you've got the combs. The comb, I mean, your hair is quite textured, so you should hold it quite well anyway. But if you find that it feels not that secure, I'd probably go for maybe more of an Alice band, because they're always gonna stay.
If your hair is quite heavy, you don't have like half down,
Yeah.
and your curls, what's the best form of comb? Is it like no GHD or a comb to make it last all day long?
It depends what curl you want, because with the GHDs, the curls tend to come out a little bit bigger. This is curled with the GHDs now. If you do with the toms, they tend to come out a lot more corkscrew. So it depends what kind of look you want. I mean, I think the most important thing really is the products you use for it to stay. And I think if you have a haircut that's slightly layered, it's going to sit a lot better than if it's all one length.
So what are the best products?
If you use the products that got a hold in it while you blow dry it, and then use hairspray when it's getting cold.
I'm thinking of having highlights before my wedding.
Yeah.
How long before my wedding should I have highlights?
Well, I would go to someone we've been before. So maybe we tend to say every kind of 9 weeks to have your highlights done.
Yeah.
And I would just get them done as close to the wedding as possible.
I'm thinking about 2 weeks. Would that be?
It should be fine. You're not going to get much of a regrowth in 2 weeks. You think about having a full head or just half a
No,
head?
well, it's taken years growing out of my highlights,
Okay.
but now I've taken the step of thinking I'm going to get them put back in just for the wedding, which I'm really torn with, but would like to have back to blonde hair for the wedding day. In all my photos, the rest of my life, I want blonde hair. And then I might kind of want to go back to my natural colour straight after, so I don't want to get stuck in the cycle again.
Okay. Well, you know, as you have had highlights before, you know it's like when you're getting them really regularly in the end, your ends, there's a build up and it gets a lot lighter in the end. If you only have it done once, you're not going to get the same build up.
That's
gonna,
right,
you know,
yeah.
it's going to be that once and then we let it grow out. And if you get them done quite naturally and quite fine, it's not going to be that hard for you to grow them out either. It's going to look quite natural, almost like you've got sun-kissed.
That's what I want. And if I'm having my hair up, should I? Because sometimes you do a T, don't you, or something?
Yeah.
But if I'm having my hair up, will a T make much difference? Will it just be this bit that needs?
I would explain that you're getting married and you're going to wear your hair up. And
Yeah.
normally you can have the T1 done and then ask them to put a few different ones just around your hairline in the back as well. So when you wear it up, you're going to see a few blonde bits. So you just want it slightly blonder for the look.
Yeah. Well, I normally have my hair blonde, but I'm going to be growing it out and bite the bullet. And you don't want to get stuck keeping doing them and then it'll be lighter and lighter hair. And it's catch-22 really.
I think just make sure when you do get it done that they do them, but it's better to have a lot of oils but very fine weaves, because you don't get stuck with stripes.
Okay, yeah.
It's not a very nice
No, I
look.
don't
If you
want
then put
stripes.
it up
I'm quite
and you have
nervous about
stripes.
getting it all done again. Actually. Because of the stiff hair.
I mean, the best thing would be once again to go in and speak to someone, have a consultation beforehand.
Yeah.
So you're both kind of clear on exactly what it is you want.
And does it make much difference what level of stylist you go to? I mean, will they
In
better
our
interpret what I'm
salon,
saying?
the levels are based on amount of experience. It doesn't always mean like we've got a technician in the salon now. She's just been promoted to level 3. She's been in the she worked in another salon before for a long time, and we had other stylists that's been working in other salons for maybe 20 years, and then they come to Sassoon and they still have to start from the bottom. So I think it's got to do with experience within Sassoon, but I don't think it always means that, you know, it's going to be the best one for you. I think the most important thing with a hairdresser is finding someone that suits you and your personality. Do you agree?
And just having consultations, you know, like if you're a bit unsure, you know, just come in for a consultation and you can, you know, speak to a couple of people. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, obviously everyone in, you know, every salon likes, I like to think, but especially in Sassoon, is obviously highly qualified, but you and that particular stylist just might not seem to be on the same wavelength. So it wouldn't really matter if you saw the creative art director or, you know, the level one, if you seem to, you know, completely connect with, you know, that particular stylist, and I think that's the person that you need to be with, really. So I think the best way to find that is, you know, I think usually you can tell from the consultation if you're sort of understanding each other, really. So yeah, I just, you know, talk to a few people and see exactly if you're sort of getting the same ideas.
I think it matters like what shampoo you use. If you're using kind of pound 10 or build up to a wedding, you should use different type of same colour.
I would definitely say so. Just for sort of, you know, shine purposes. A lot of shampoos sort of, you know, high street shampoos tend to strip colour out without you realising it. If you actually look at the ingredients, they're very, very strong. So like for instance, I was trying to go, I had jet black hair for like a few years and I was trying to go red, so I used Head and Shoulders sort of to try and strip it out just so it's a little bit stronger on the hair, whereas you might need something that's just a little bit, you know, a bit more delicate. So you just have to be careful because they're not always sort of mentioned how strong each product is. Whereas if you go into a salon, you actually can get the advice that you need before you just go and buy any shampoo, basically. Yeah, so I think it's just be careful. So you just don't read exactly what the shampoo's for. Maybe when you go into a chemist or something and buy something. So if you want it to be a bit more shiny, you might need to use, you know, particular shampoos that will have that. Get it in good condition for the actual big day.
Something is that if you do want to wear your hair completely out for the wedding, for the whole time, I wouldn't have your hair cut just before the wedding, because the hair actually holds a lot better, it holds the shape a lot better if it's just a little bit drier. It sounds awful, but it's true. If you have, you know, if you just had a cut, it just tends to fall out a lot easier. Because you have that really blunt ends that's just been cut off.
And also sometimes if you've got really, really thick hair, your hair might need to be a bit dirty as well. For it to stay up, because some people just have that hair that just completely drops out when it's really, really clean. So yeah, so make sure you just check.
Like when we say dirty, we mean like maybe wash it the day before you're having it up rather than on the same day.
Yeah, I don't mean like leave your hair for a week. That wouldn't be very nice.
So has any one of you thought already what kind of look you want to go for, or you kind of still making your mind up? Still thinking.
I quite like my hair out. My hair's really fine and goes quite flat.
Yeah.
You see how that lace got it all sort of, I wouldn't want it all completely up, but some bits down.